Let's learn two argument passing types in methods of Java, which is call by value and call by reference. So we will see this practically how this works. So let's say this is one example class which is written as parameter test, and have written one method which is doing some uh, taking two arguments. One is integer I and the other one is j, and just one is just multiplying by 2 and the other one is dividing by 2. So this is one method which is written here, and let's see how this can be called from the main class. So what we have done, we have just created a new object for that class, which is this one, and we are creating this object name. So let's say this is two variables which we wanted to pass to that particular method. So uh, a is equal to 15 and b is equal to 20, and we are just printing that values of a and b here before we are calling this value. So now what we are doing, we are passing a and b, these two variables to this method. So this method is which is here. So once we are calling these methods, method which is ob.meth and bracket a comma b, we are passing it call by values, and then after call by value, once we are calling this method, and then we can just we are just printing again a and b values. So how this affects, so now you say this means for this method 15 and 20 has been passed. So whenever it comes to here, so I will have a value of 15 and j will have value of 20. So this will happen like 15 which will be a value of 30, and then again this is 20 divided by 2 will be having a value of 10. So this is the value, and we are just printing I and j here. So this is I value, and so this is j value. So this is what the operations are being performed on those two variables. And when we are doing this, let's try to run this. What happens, we will see. So I'm just trying to run this main program, which is just calling the method which is there. So if I run this now, you will see that this has been the first will print the value of a and b. A and b, which is the value of 15 and 20, which is printed here, and after that we have called this method. So this method is performing the calculations on a and b value variables, and then we are printing there as 30 and 10 are I and j values after multiplying this and dividing by 2 for these two variables. But after calling this as well, we can see that this is we are just printing the same variables which is here. So we will see the values are still same. The first, before calling a method, it is 15 and 20, and after calling the method as well, we can see that values are same. That means the actual values are passed to this variable, but these values will not be modified when it is passed. So um, this is call by value, so value will be passed, but not the reference. Now what is call by reference? In call by reference, let's say this is another example. This is another class. So we have constructor for this class, which is just initializing the values for a and b variable here, and then another method which is the same similar kind of this, like this is again multiplying by 2, and this is again dividing by 2, the same kind of things. So we can just print object a and b here. Now in call by reference, what happens? So whenever we create object, like we can give some values like 15, 20 we are passing, and now we are printing object dot a and object dot b, similar how we have done for call by value. So before calling the method, we are printing those values. So whenever this object is created, the values for this object will be initialized. So like this. So this will be initialized. So 15, I will hold the values of 15, and j will hold the value of 20, and that will be assigned to a and b instance variable, and then this a and b instance variable can be used in this method. Now we are printing this, and then we are calling this. So now we are calling object. We are not calling a variable, or but we are passing its reference. So this reference will contain the value of object A and object B. So these two reference variables will be passed to this method, and when it comes to this method, so it will be this class name and its object. So this object will hold the value of A and B, so which is getting this initialized from here, and then it will be passed to here, and then it will be stored in object dot A and object dot B. Now, and then we are trying to print this object dot A and object dot B. So let's see what is the result. So when we run this, now you will see first we have printed object dot A and object B, which is the value of the initial as 15, 20. Then some values which will be calculated in the method of this parameter test, where we are doing some calculation, and that is printed as 30 and 10 here, and then again we are printing the same variables, variables, which is object dot A and object dot B. So now when we are printing this, you will see this has been 30, 10. Now you will see this is the difference. Earlier it was having like just same values getting printed last as well, but here it is different because we are passing its reference, not the actual value. So reference by means whatever the object reference for these variables, whatever the reference of that particular class object, that is being passed to the method as a parameter, and then it is performing some operations on that objects variable in terms of the calculation, some of the calculations, and then it is again assigning that here as object dot A and object dot B. So it is actually a memory location, we can say, or a reference which gets changed, and that's why these values are getting changed. So this is the difference between call by value and call by reference. So call by value will be passing the actual value, but not the reference. In call by reference, we are passing its reference or argument reference while passing to the method, and that's what it changes its reference and actual value when call by reference as well. So this is what call by value and call by reference. I hope you have understood this. If you have any questions, then please put it in comment section. If you like my video, then please like it and subscribe to my channel as well. Thank you for watching.